Now, gunmen suspected to be Fulani herdsmen have attacked Koban Community, Kombon District in Mangu local government area of Plateau State in Nigeria, killing 10 persons while an unspecified number of people were injured and property destroyed. Some of the victims were attacked guarding the community. Arrangement is on for a mass burial for the victims. And now this morning I have Berom youth leader from Plateau State, Solomon Dalyop, and he joins me on the news to shed more light on this particular attack in that community. Thank you so much, Solomon, for joining us on the news. Solomon, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start this way. Why is it that we are beginning to hear stories of incessant attacks in Plateau State, most especially in Mangu and some other areas, most especially in those areas that are said to be critical in terms of security architecture in the state? Why are we seeing this increase in attacks?
Of course, as usual, you know, the bandits that have been brought into the state by the Fulani militias who have been around perpetrating heinous activities in the state have remained resolute to make life very, very unbearable. Because, of course, they really want to ensure that the incidents of land grab, you know, does not come to an end. Because there are many villages and communities in the plateau that have been grabbed and are currently under the occupation of the Fulani headsmen. And then, of course, from our sources, that even the bandits that were brought into the state have not yet been returned to where they were brought from, like places like Zamfara, Niger, Kaduna, Taraba, and other places. So, of course, they will want to make life very, very unbearable, and then to ensure that, you know, the little farms that were able to be cultivated are not, you know, harvested, because it's part of their modus operandi to cripple the economic progress of the state. So these are some of the factors that are informing the increasing attacks, and then, of course, to ensure that, you know, threat to life and property, you know, continue unabated. And that is the mission of these bandits and Fulani militias that are terrorizing the state. They are also planning to ensure that places like Hyper Airport become very much accessible to them. That is why they are attacking places like Kwi, even in Barikiladi and Rio. And then, of course, we are also witnessing high alarming destruction of farm crops on daily basis. That one has never, gone down at all. And even though we are appreciating the response and the improvement in the security situation in the state, if not because of the incident that happened night before yesterday, of course, Plateau State would have been experiencing relative peace. But with the resurgence of violence and terror attacks on native inhabitants and the innocent people in the state has become very, very appalling and alarming, owing to the fact that the headers and the Fulanis who have vowed, initially that they would be further attacks again, they have resumed it.
Well, this is not the first time, Solomon, that we are hearing of these life-threatening incursions by the supposedly headsmen in Plateau State. And you mentioned about the architectural measures being put in place by the government in Plateau State. So I'd like you to just shed more light about what security measures were actually expended to deal with attacks like this. What did the government do? And what more can be done to ensure that the lives of people and property can be well secured?
Of course, we appreciate the rapid response of the Operation Safe Haven and other sister agencies. Of course, we owe a duty to commend the modus operandi deployed by the GOC Major General Abdul Salam. The man is doing well, of course, but the attackers who are not headsmen, but these are terrorists and bandits that are in the state because of
Hello, Solomon.
We must get the narrative straight. The peculiar situation in Plateau State, is not that of headers and farmers, but it is terror attacks unleashed on native communities and innocent Nigerians that are residing within this general area. So, of course, but the military are actually doing there is deployment so far, and then of course that is why the calmness, even with the security alert received last night, we saw the rapid response of the Operation Safe Haven, particularly Sector 4 Commander Colonel U.S. Abdul Salam, and also the GOC Major General Abdul Salam, who responded rapidly and were able to avert, the recurrence of the invasion that would have, occurred last night, based on the security intelligence availably given.
Thank you so much, Solomon. But before I let you go, we are aware that there was a security meeting held by, I think, members of the community. Can you kindly hint us about the fallout of the meeting? Are there concerted efforts being made or collaborative efforts by communities in Plateau State to ensure the safety of people within these communities against these attackers?
Of course, concerted efforts are being made, particularly by the state government, to ensure that the recurrence of this decimal, comes to an end by engaging critical stakeholders, and also grassroots engagements have been on with the security, facilitating some of those engagements. And then, of course, it has come to terms that, the leadership of the Fulanis have actually pledged, allegiance that this thing will come to an end. But of course, it comes to it is quite surprising that today we are still witnessing, the resurgence of attacks. So it has dawned on us that it is much more of lies, fallacies, rather than reality. Because if someone will make a vow and make a commitment, there won't be, witness of attacks and then terror invasions of communities and property, and yet we are seeing it. So therefore means that the other party, especially the Fulanis, have failed, in keeping to their commitment. And of course, that is what one security officer said, that they have failed him because they promised that there won't be any attack, and then lo and behold, we are seeing it. So of course, we are praying that government should, take drastic measures towards curbing the excesses and then the deceit that Fulani have always been given, that they won't be attacked, and then lo and behold, they come and spring up surprising attacks on the natives.
Solomon, thank you so much for talking to us, and continue to stay safe.